outside of the hall in Excelsior Springs. So Lexi, this is going to have a major impact on the Veterans Association.
Bria, it absolutely will. Now, the outside of the building on the roof, there is extensive damage, but right now we're going to give you a look inside. As you can see, some of the damage here on the ceiling of the building. They were just about finished with repairs from that crash back in February and were set to celebrate and have a reopening, and now they're back to square one.
2 years from now, it'll be 100 years that we've been here. It's the first time we've had one car crash into the roof, let alone two of them.
This surveillance footage shows the moment the car crashed into the roof of the Clay Ray Veterans Association building. A man was driving on Linwood Avenue when his car launched off the cliff, tumbled through the trees, and then flipped right onto the roof.
Instead of following the curve of 10 Highway, the road that they come off of is Linwood Avenue, and they drive straight down Linwood Avenue, and then there's this cliff face that's on the backside of St. Louis Avenue that's hidden by this tree line, and essentially they launch off of the cliff face and they end up in the roof here.
The Veterans Association has not been able to use their building or host revenue-generating events since the first car crashed into the building in February.
It's quite shocking for it to happen again, but we just went through all this money and everything to fix the other part, and now it's the same thing, just over in the bar area instead of in the kitchen.
They were only 2 weeks away from reopening.
It's just heartbreaking, especially when it comes to the community. I mean, it's an American Legion. We help veterans any way we can, and it's put a big damper on things.
Excelsior Springs police are still looking into what caused the crash Wednesday morning, but say it's obvious that speed was involved.
As long as he didn't have any medical condition, we are going to charge him with something. That could be as minor as careless driving, or, you know, all the way up to if he was determined to be impaired, he could face a charge for that. But we just don't know at this point.
There was nobody inside the building at the time of the crash, and the driver was able to walk himself to the ambulance and was then taken to the hospital. We haven't received an update on the driver's condition from police at this time. In Excelsior Springs, Lexi French, Fox 4, working for you.
That's not far from here in Missouri.
Yo, I've been hitting that indica strain when it gets in my brain, then it isn't the same. I'm twisting the flame. Grind up the cess is definitely beneficial for the pain. That medical chain, never synthetic, you know photosynthesis getting the blame. Blowing dough legit if you switch up your state. I load a piff and I'm drifting away when I'm out in the springs. When the mountain's a king, I'm counting the ounces they bring off of that kush. They blow in that bush, they bout it, no doubt it's a thing. I'm jacking the scythe. Living in Colorado over half of my life. I came from Arvada back in the day. Had a habit for packing a sack in a pipe and blowing that in. Duh, duh.
Texas, the great state of Texas, is facing tons of backlash after taking serious steps to ban THC across the entire state. And no, I'm not just talking about THCA 0.3%, we're talking about everything. But now they're facing tons of backlash as tons of boxes were delivered to the governor's office with signatures begging him not to sign that bill into law.
The Texas Tribune reports that Governor Greg Abbott is now facing intense political pressure over the recently passed THC ban. Senate Bill 3 was passed last month and would ban all forms of THC. Stores across Houston currently sell different forms, from smokable hemp to vapes to edibles such as gummies. Yesterday, a coalition made up of business owners, veterans, and opponents, they brought thousands of letters to the governor's office calling on him to veto the bill, saying it helps keep people off opioids. Instead, they say they'd rather see restrictions such as age limits and where it could be sold. On the other side, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has made the bill one of his top priorities, claiming THC is a poison and it gets kids hooked on drugs for life.
So you guys heard it there yourselves. That's something that we reported on in the past. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has made this his personal mission to get this bill passed. But a lot of people, thankfully, are standing up for the plant and standing up for each other and sending tons of these boxes filled with signatures to the governor's desk so that he knows what's up. Now, why this is so important, guys, is because this is now the end of the legislative session. So it really is down to the governor to determine whether he's going to veto or sign this bill into law. And that's why a lot of these people are banding together and trying to get the governor to veto this bill and reject it and not sign it into law.